Hello students, today we are going to learn 3.6 the concert class 10. Before beginning the lesson, let's start to learn about the author Shanta Rao. She was a notable dancer from India. Okay, who was Shanta Rao? Shanta Rao was a notable dancer from India. She was born in 1930 and she passed away in December 2007. She was exponent of Bharatnatyam. Exponent means represents. She represents here of Bharatnatyam, okay, and also studied Kathakali and Kuchipudi. She was a recipient of Padma Shri and Sangeet Natak Academy Award and Kalidas Sanman for music, dance and drama. Shanta Rao, who was here exponent of Bharatnatyam, and she was also studied here Kathakali and Kuchipudi. She was the recipient of Padma Shri, that means she was awarded by Padma Shri in 1971. Later Sangeet Natak Award that she got from Sangeet Natak Academy in 1970. After that, Kalidas Sanman Award for Music, Dance and Drama in 1993-94. This is a true story, but all the names except Pandit Ravi Shankar's and Ustad Allah Rakhat's have been changed. That means this is a true story. Only the names Pandit Ravi Shankar and Ustad Allah Rakha, these are the real one names, and other names that are not the true names. Okay, these are the imaginary names. Now let's see the lesson, this story. One morning in a small apartment in Bombay, a girl of about 16 looked up from the newspaper and said excitedly, Pandit Ravi Shankar is playing tomorrow at the Sanmukhananda Auditorium. Okay, now what is given here? Let's see. One morning. What happened one morning? In a small apartment in Bombay. The setting of the story is Bombay, that means Mumbai. One girl is shown. She is about 16 years old, okay, and she was reading the newspaper, and in the newspaper she read out a news, and by reading the news she was tremendously excited because she read about Pandit Ravi Shankar ji. Pandit Ravi Shankar was playing here a concert, okay, tomorrow at the Shanmukhananda Auditorium. There was one concert of Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, okay, where the next day, and that the news she read out in the newspaper. Shh, said her mother, pointing to the figure sleeping on the bed. You will wake him up. You know he needs all the sleep and rest he can get. Now another character is mentioned here in the first one para. The sister who is about 16 years old, that she is mentioned in the first para. In the second one para, another character is mentioned. Who is that figure? Mother. Mother tried to keep silent her child, her daughter. Shh, because she pointed to the figure who was sleeping on the bed. You will wake him up. What did she ask her? You will wake him up. That means if you excite, your excitement definitely will wake up him. You know he needs all the sleep and rest he can get. She told her that you know he needs all the sleep. That means the boy who was sleeping on the bed needed here all the sleep and rest. So from this we get the idea that the boy who was sleeping on the bed was ill and he needed a rest. And for that, mother was telling her daughter, don't hear, speak loudly, that would definitely wake up the boy. From this, we understood here mother's care for the boy. She is very intimate to the boy, okay? She properly took his care. But the boy on the bed was not asleep. Pandit Ravi Shankar, he said. Pandit Ravi Shankar, the sitar maestro. He raised himself up on his elbows for 1 second, then fell back. But his eyes were shining. We mustn't miss the chance, he said. I have always wanted to hear him and see him, and more than that, he wanted to talk. There are used dot dot dots. Actually, here, mother tried to keep quiet her daughter, but the boy who was sleeping on the bed was not asleep. He was awake. Pandit Ravi Shankar. When he heard the name of Pandit Ravi Shankar, he excited a lot, and he also here uttered the words Pandit Ravi Shankar. Pandit Ravi Shankar. Pandit, the word indicates here master. Ravi Shankar, you know about Ravi Shankar ji? Ravi Shankar, who was a Bengali Indian musician, okay? And he played sitar. Sitar is the musical instrument. The sitar maestro. Maestro means what? Artist or a distinguished conductor or performer is called maestro. He raised himself up on his elbows for 1 second. Here we got the idea that the boy who was seriously ill and he was unable to wake up. Okay, even when he heard the name of Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, the sitar maestro, the sitar artist, he tried to raise himself up on his elbows, where on the bed where he was sleeping. But that was only for 1 second. But later he fell back on the bed. But how were his eyes? His eyes were shining. There was shining in his eyes. And what did he say? We mustn't miss the chance. Which chance? He wanted to hear and see Pandit Ravi Shankar ji and also hear the concert. Okay? He said, I have always wanted to hear him and see him. Okay? More than that, he talked here. Later, what did mother say? Let's see in the next para. Lie down, son, lie down. His mother sprang to his side. He actually raised himself up without help. She murmured with a catch in her throat, and her eyes turned to idols on a corner shelf. The prayer, which she uttered endlessly, came unbeaten to her lips. Earlier, we have seen that the girl who was only 16 years old, and when she read out the news of Pandit Ravi Shankar ji's concert that was going to play the next day at the Shanmukhananda auditorium, she was very happy, okay? And so she forgot her brother, means the boy, okay? So when she came to know about his performance from the newspaper, she excited a lot. And the musical concert that was going to held at the Sanmukhananda auditorium, okay? After that, the mother tried to lie down the son. Lie down, son, lie down. Here we observed mother's care for the son, that she moved very quickly near to him. Sprang means what? Moved quickly. He actually raised himself up without help. Okay, what did you understand here? When mother moved quickly towards him near to his bed, she saw there. Actually, for getting up, he needed someone. Okay, without anybody's assistance, he was unable to get up. But now, when he heard about Pandit Ravi Shankarji, he actually raised himself up without anybody's help. Okay, she murmured. Mother murmured here means quietly spoken some words with a catch in her throat. This is a phrase, a catch in her throat or one's throat. What is meant by that? Means a break in the voice when someone wanted here about to cry. That means when she wanted here to say something, okay, there was a catch in her throat and her eyes turned to the idol on a corner shelf. At the corner there was a shelf and on that there was an idol, okay, and the prayer which she uttered endlessly came unbidden to her lips. Unbidden? What is meant by unbidden? Unbidden means automatically. That the prayer looking at the corner on that idol, okay, means she looked at the idol that was kept on a corner shelf. So automatically that the prayer came in her mouth and she uttered the prayer endlessly. Okay. So from this para we get the idea that the mother, she was very worried about the child. Okay, she at first told the child, lie down son, lie down. Later she murmured with a catch in her throat. Later she fixed her eyes to the idols on the shelf and she started here uttering the prayer, okay, endlessly. So with the help of these lines we got the idea about what, how worried the mother was. Now let's see the next one para. What is given there? I must hear him and see him, the boy repeated. It's the chance of a lifetime. Then he began to cough and gasp for breath and had to be given oxygen from the cylinder that stood under the bed. But his large eyes were fixed on his sister. Now let's see what is given here. I must hear him, I see him. What is given here? When the boy tried to get up on his bed, okay, when he heard the name of Pandit Ravi Shankarji, he repeated here, I must hear him, I see him. What were the words in his mouth? He wanted to hear, he must hear Pandit Ravi Shankarji and see him. It's the chance of a lifetime, according to the boy. It's the chance of lifetime. What is meant by that? That means he wanted here to see and hear Pandit Ravi Shankarji. Okay, according to him, that was the chance of a lifetime. According to whom? According to the boy. He was here means actually to be able to hear and see Pandit Ravi Shankarji's performance. Okay, that was the chance of a lifetime for whom? For Anand. There is asked one question. What was the chance of a lifetime for Anand? That means we get the idea. We here got his name, the boy's name. What is the name of that boy? Anand. Okay. Then he began to cough and gasp for breath. Gasp, what is meant by gasp? To breathe laboriously. Mean, when he heard about Pandit Ravi Shankarji, he was very excited, he was very happy, and in that excitement, he tried to talk, okay? But because of his illness, he began to cough and he here was unable to breathe. He started breathing laboriously and had to be given oxygen that was put under his bed. Okay, there was the cylinder of oxygen and from that he was provided oxygen. But his large eyes were fixed on his sister. Why were his eyes fixed on his sister? Because sister read out a news from the newspaper. Okay, and what was the news? Pandit Ravi Shankarji was playing the next day at the Shanmukhananda auditorium, and so the boy fixed his eyes on his sister. Now let's see the last one para that is given on page number 138. Smita. We got the name of the sister. What is the name of that girl who was about 16 years old? Smita. And the boy's name? Anant. They were the brother sister. Smita bit her lip in self reproach. She had been so excited at seeing the announcement that she had not remembered that her brother was very ill. She had seen how the doctors had shaken their heads gravely and spoken words that neither she nor even her parents could understand. But somewhere deep inside, Smita had known the frightening truth that Anant was going to die. Okay, now let's see what is given here. Smita bit her lip in self reproach. Self reproach means blame directed at oneself. The girl, 16-year-old girl, Smita, she bit her lip because she felt herself that she was here guilty. For what? Because her brother who was seriously ill and she disturbed him. So she started blaming herself. In her excitement, when she read out the news from the newspaper about Pandit Ravi Shankarji, she was excited a lot, and in her excitement, she forgot about her brother who was seriously ill. She had seen how the doctors had shaken their heads gravely. Gravely means seriously. And they spoke out the words. What were the words? That Smita's brother was going to die. At first, her parents and Smita, they were unable to understand the doctor's words. Okay, but later, deep inside, Smita understood that Anand was going to die, and she knew the word. What? Cancer. That means Anant was suffering from cancer. He had cancer and had hung when the word cancer, the doctor pronounced the word cancer had hung in the air. Her brother was dying of cancer, even though she pretended that all would be well and they would return together, a small family of four, to their home in Gaganpur. From where are they? They are from Gaganpur. Their home is in Gaganpur. Now they are in Bombay. Okay. Their family is very small one. There are only four members in the family: father, mother, sister, and brother. Okay. Smita understood that her brother Anant was suffering from cancer and he was going to die. But here she pretended that all would be very good. That means he would come out or he would be cured from that very serious illness, means disease cancer. Okay, and they would definitely return together to their home in Gaganpur. And he was only 15 and the best table tennis player in the school and the fastest runner. He was learning to play the sitar. They were both taking sitar lessons, but Anant was better than her as in many other things. Okay, let's see what is given here. How was Anant? His best qualities are mentioned here. He was only 15 years old. How many years old? Anant? Anant was 15 years. Okay, and he was best table tennis player. When? Means in the school. He was the fastest runner. he was not only table tennis player but also the fastest runner. He was learning to play the sitar. One more thing is mentioned about Anand, and that is what? He was learning to play the sitar. They were both taking sitar lessons. That means Smita and Anand, they were taking sitar lessons. But Anand was quite good rather than whom? Smita. He was better than her, okay, as in many other things. He was already able to compose his own tunes to the astonishment of their guru. Astonishment, that means the surprise, okay, wonder. He was able to what? To compose his own tunes. And so his guru, he was surprised here. Then cancer had struck and they had come to Bombay so that he could be treated at the cancer hospital in the city. Why did they go to Bombay? Because Anant was suffering from cancer. He had struck here cancer, and so they wanted to give him proper treatment, and they knew that it would get him in Bombay. So they wanted here to give him proper treatment. They wanted to admit him where? At the cancer hospital in the city, and definitely he will be cured. That was their view. Whenever they came to Bombay, they stayed with Aunt Sushila. Her apartment was not big, but there was always room for them. Okay, where were they? They were in Bombay. They stayed with Aunt Sushila. What is the name of another character is mentioned here? Aunt Sushila. We got here three characters, and this is the fourth one: brother, sister, mother, and Aunt Sushila. How was her apartment? Her apartment was not big. This was small one, and there was always room for Smita, Anand, and their father and mother. Okay, and from that we got the here information that Aunt Sushila was very lovable to them. She was very intimate to them, and she always took care of Smita's, okay, family. What happens next, that we will see in the next video. What did we see today? We have seen about Anant, okay, Smita and their mother. We here understood that Anant was suffering from cancer, and he was here given cancer treatment in the hospital in Bombay. Okay, what happened next, that we will see in the next video. Now we stop here. Thank you.